Hi everyone, how are you going? I'm Bianca. I am a couple of weeks pregnant. I'm about 6 weeks pregnant to be exact, so I'm really excited. I'm going to take you through what happens in the first couple of weeks, how to get a midwife, and we're also going to talk about miscarriages. So when I miscarried last year, which was really unfortunate, it was really a real wake-up call for me. My partner and I wanted to get pregnant, and yay, we got pregnant. And then about 6 weeks into the pregnancy, I miscarried. I was asleep in bed about 1 a.m. and I started having these really severe cramps. I suppose you could liken them to a really severe menstrual cycle cramp. And I did think at the time, whoa, if it's going to be like this for the next, 8 months, I'm probably going to find it a little bit difficult. So I went to the bathroom and a blood clot came out. And I was so green at the time, I honestly thought it was the baby's placenta. And I got my partner up and, he was pretty upset about it as well. I literally got the blood clot and put it in a plastic bag to take to the hospital just in case. I got wrapped up, went to the hospital. They pretty much processed me straight away. While I was waiting though, I went to the bathroom again and more blood clots came out. I was lucky that I kind of went in at the early hours of morning, so they really could keep an eye on me. They put me into a room and I went to sleep for a little while. I didn't have any painkillers throughout the situation because I didn't want to. And I got woken up at about 4 a.m. and might have been about 5 a.m. actually, and they do your blood pressure. Now, because I had lost a lot of blood and they hadn't replaced it with any fluids, as soon as I sat up out of bed, I started shaking, and they started freaking out and went into the emergency room. And it was quite an unusual situation because I basically couldn't control my body and I was literally shaking all over, which did worry my partner, so it wasn't really a good look. So if you are going to be miscarriaging, make sure that you go to the hospital straight away, that you get them to replace your fluids so that you don't have to go through that situation. I didn't let my family know until about 9 a.m. because I just thought, what's the point in waking everybody up? It's happening. And then they got more fluids into me and I went back into the emergency ward. What surprised me is that miscarriages happen all the time. It's in New Zealand, it's 1 in 5 women have them. So it's something that needs to be openly discussed a little bit more. And the majority of the people in the emergency ward where I was, they were miscarriaging. So it was a real learning curve for me. I chose not to take any painkillers. And you have a couple of options. You can take a pill that will bring on the baby processing through your body, or you can do it naturally like I did, or you can go straight in for an operation. I chose to do it naturally. Now in hindsight, I probably should have just gone in for the operation, because after you do it naturally, or you have the pills to induce it, you have to go in for an operation anyway. So don't bother wasting your time trying to be all holistic and keeping it natural like I did. Just go in for the op straight away, because you are miscarriaging, and the child is no longer going to live. So the sooner you can get that process done, the sooner you can recover and leave the hospital so that you can go home and start repairing. After I had the operation, I was in the ward for about 24 hours and then I went home. You just have to make sure that you have quite large underwear, and the hospital will generally give these to you, and very large menstrual pads. I put on a good 3 kg while this situation was happening, and I go to the gym 5 days a week, and it took me a lot of cardio to shift that weight again. So 9 months later, I'm finally pregnant with my partner and I, Daryl, are finally pregnant. I, for some reason in my head, had the idea that if if I'd been pregnant, it would be a lot easier for me to get pregnant again straight away, and obviously that wasn't the case. So we just kept living healthy lifestyles, exercising, and enjoying the fun that comes with trying to conceive. So I am about 6 weeks at the moment. What I started doing was I kept a diary of my cycles down to having it in the evening or having it in the morning. So I knew on the date within a couple of days that I was actually pregnant. I went down to the chemist and got myself a 3 pregnancy pack with 3 little sticks in it, and did the test. It actually took a day for the stick to process, so I thought they were faulty at first, and then 24 hours later I got the line, so I was really happy about that. When I was searching for a midwife the first time, I live in Auckland on the North Shore, but I'm originally from Gisborne, and I was trying to find myself a Māori midwife, and I couldn't find one. So for you ladies that are Polynesian or Asian or Indian, and you want to have a midwife that understands your culture and your upbringing and just the way you are as a person, you may find it a little bit difficult. The best I could do is I got myself a really nice midwife who was from Gisborne, so that was the compromise I made. I could have gone all the way over to West Auckland, which is half an hour away, to get the midwife that I wanted. However, this midwife lives half an hour away. And she actually worked at the hospital, so that was a real bonus when I miscarried, because she actually came and saw me and made sure that I was comfortable, so I really appreciated that. So there are loads of websites that you can just Google it, go online, find a midwife. I didn't choose the first midwife. The first person I chose was overachiever, spoke 3 to 4 languages, had amazing credentials, and I felt literally she was from the Middle East, and this is nothing on people from the Middle East, but I found that she couldn't relate to me and my culture, and we had a communication breakdown. So I just thought, I'm just going to get someone local that understands me, and it's been perfect so far. So as soon as I felt pregnant, I rang Jill, my midwife, and she made an appointment with me within a week, and she came to see me yesterday. And so her name is Jill Dale. She's lovely. She actually reminds me of like your nanny that you want to hug. And she gave me this really cool the Inside Story booklet, and it's like a little mini diary, and it just explains to you what's going to happen right through to the 40 weeks. And at the moment I am in week 6. So my baby's really tiny, but at the moment it is forming. So at the moment, all its organs are starting to take shape. I got a prescription. I was already taking folic acid, but she gave me another prescription for folic acid, and I got another prescription for iodine, because we don't have iodine in our food in New Zealand except for the salt, so we need to take extra iodine just to make sure that everything's all good with our bodies. And I just went down to my local chemist and they filled out the prescription. It was $5 for each product, so when you get it through your midwife on prescription, it's a lot cheaper than just going to get it generally. So if you are looking at getting pregnant, or you are pregnant, get as many prescriptions as you can from your midwife at the time and stock up on that and get them straight away, because my chemist held the prescription for 3 months, and I went back at 4 months to get it, and of course it had expired. So that was a lesson that I learnt. So I also went to go and get my bloods, and she gave me a form similar to this, and there's loads of places around that you can get your bloods from, and you can just Google that as well, or your midwife will tell you. Went in and they stuck a needle in my arm, and they took 3 different samples. Didn't hurt too much, and then they will come back to me and let me know, you know, what the situation is. And I've also made a appointment for a scan, and it's called a dating scan. And because I've miscarried before, I'm going to have mine in a couple of weeks, because then they can pick up on any issues with the placenta, things like that, that maybe will stop any issues should they occur. And you know, because I have miscarried before, like a lot of women in New Zealand, I have spoken to my partner about we need to be mentally prepared for it if it does happen. Yes, it will be disappointing, but you just gotta pull your socks up and just keep going and keep trying. So I have got my date for my scan, and I'm really looking forward to that, and I'll come back to you guys later on with another video, and we'll see how that goes. And once you've signed up with your lead maternity carer, that's your midwife, they also give you a couple of forms to sign. So if you are concerned about costs and things like that, don't be. The New Zealand government pays for all of that, so all you have to do is sort yourself out with a midwife that is registered, and everything's for free, so they do take care of you. And that's really about it. Oh, I wanted to show you my tummy. So a couple of weeks ago I was 68 kgs, and real flat tummy, a little bit of belly fat, and I just want to go through the weeks and show you how my body is going to be changing. So so that's my tummy at the moment, yeah, and that's it from the side. So you can see that it was like that a couple of weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, and it's just starting to pop out a little bit, and I would say that that's probably fluid retention when you do get pregnant. The majority of the weight is fluid retention, yay. So you know, once we have baby, we should be able to get rid of all that excess fluid. The other thing that I've done, I haven't worn any makeup because I want to see whether this theory of glowing skin and nails is true. So, you know, let's have a good look at that skin at the moment, and let's see what it's going to be like as we go through the process. So yeah, I'm pregnant finally. I am an older mum. I'm 40 years old, so I do understand that once I hit about 30, I started working out a lot at the gym, because I knew that having a child later on in life, I needed to be physically fit to be able to have this child. So, you know, all good things happen for a reason, and hopefully I will see you soon in another couple of weeks, maybe at my dating scan, and I'll update you on the situation. All right then, ka kite anō.